Hey, I'm Richard Miller with Goldie May, and welcome to the Unrehearsed Research series where we do live genealogy research and just let it take us wherever it goes. The plan today is to do a solo episode. I'm going to research America Jane Overlin. We previously looked at her on 3 other episodes with James Tanner, and James gave me valuable information and analysis about her situation. So I want to take that further and see what else I can find. And then I can report back to James and we can look at it again together. So that's the plan for today. Thank you all for those who watch and like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. So we'll jump in now. Okay, I have America Jane pulled up here and I'm going to open up Goldie May and go to the project for her. This project has some notes I've taken and tasks, and I'll just sort of be talking to myself here. I'm a software developer, and one of the concepts there is called rubber ducky debugging, or rubber ducking it's called. So the idea is that if you have a rubber duck on your desk and you ever get to a stuck spot as you are doing programming, you can turn to your rubber duck and talk to it and talk through the problem you're having. And often you'll come to a conclusion or a solution just because you've said it out loud. Even though the rubber duck doesn't talk back, it still provides value. And I've heard, in the Research Like a Pro podcast with Nicole and Diana, how valuable it is to write, even if you don't intend to publish a research report or give it to someone. If you're writing what you find, then it allows your mind to process what you're seeing and make sense of the dots and connect the dots. So in some sense, that's what I'll be doing as I talk to you and do research today. Let's jump in and see what I can find. Now, I'm planning to, go for 30 plus minutes, but then cut it down by editing so you're not stuck looking at all the tedious parts. I think the main thing I want to confirm here is that we've had a hard time finding her parents. The parents listed on the tree are there. These are the names that we know of more or less, but they only have one source each. Her father has parents, but her mother does not have parents, so that's kind of an end of line. I really want to find more information about the parents and really shore that up better. What we know is that America Jane's maiden name is Overlin. That's an important point. We know that she was born in Grayson County, Kentucky. We're assuming Grayson County, Kentucky, even though there's also a Grayson town in a different county in Kentucky. But we're going to assume Grayson County, Kentucky. We also know of her living in Spencer County, Indiana. This is where she was married, and so that's an important place as well. As we jump back, we'll look at these different places. I think what I want to do is just confirm in the sources, what do we really know about her parents' names from contemporary sources? I think when we looked at that before, it was a church record where James helped me understand that this would be a church record contemporary to her lifetime. And there she listed her parents as William I. Overlin and Maria Wilson. So those are the big 2 starting points. And I've got a note about that. Church records say America's parents were William I. Overlin and Maria Wilson. That's a little different than what the tree says, because the tree says William L. Overlin. But we'll just take that as close and we'll work with both variations. So let me go back to the subway map, and I want to just think about where she was living at the time. A marriage in 1843, Spencer County, Indiana. And she's age 19. Let's assume, looking for a census record there, that in 1840, possibly, her family's already in Spencer County, Indiana, and she's 16 years old. Let's think about that option. Let's open up the 1840 census on both Family Search and Ancestry. I'll open that one, and then we'll go to Ancestry and open that one. So we'll type in William I'll do star, and then let's put in that we're looking in Indiana. So we have Spencer County, Warwick County, Orange County, and I don't know where those are on a map, so let's just map that real quick. Okay, they're all sort of southern Indiana, 80, 90 miles apart? So pretty close to each other. Let me go back here and just say, for this, I'm going to use the canvas. I have a lot of images on this that we'll ignore for the time being. These are from other research as part of this project. But what I want to do today is take some screenshots of these records and then just sort them next to each other to see how that looks. We've got 3 William Overlins, and these are all appearing right here. I'm going to put these down kind of in a new part of the canvas down lower. And then let's just zoom in and say, maybe I'll make some county groups where we just say, why not alphabetical order, right? Let's do Orange, O, S, and W. We'll do Orange, Spencer, and Warwick County like that. And we know these are all 1840. Maybe I should try W star just in case. I'm just curious too, who are the other Overlins in general, not just William. If we look at Rush County, there's some Overlees. William, that's the Overlin we saw. Jackson, Warwick. Okay, here's a John in Orange County and a Jonathan in Spencer. And I want to just keep track of these for knowing that I already have 3 William Overlins in Indiana. Spencer County is probably the right county. That's where she said she got married. But I am just curious who else is in Spencer County. So I'll take a screenshot of Jonathan. Now I'm using the Canvas tool here in Goldie May. You could use something else like a single page of a presentation software like PowerPoint or Keynote, or you could use something like Miro.com, M-I-R-O, or Canva.com, C-A-N-V-A. Let's put him in Spencer County, Jonathan. And then who else do we have in Spencer County? And just to compare, I'll open up Ancestry in the 1840 census, and let's just see if there's anything different there. Okay, so Ancestry is no different in that regard from Family Search. I'm going to jump with this tool to the 1830 census. Just go back 10 years and see how that looks. Here we have another Eli in Spencer County. Let me just search on page for Spencer. We have Eli, Jonathan, William. So 2 Williams there. We hadn't seen 2 Williams before. So let's just take screenshots of those as well. Now we are going to just line them up with the Spencer County, but we'll say this is 10 years earlier, so I'm putting it to the left of that other column. And we'll go down, we'll grab these other ones, and then these all go William, Jonathan, Williams. So, okay, so I've got one column here for 1830, another column for 1840, and then I'm trying to just keep the places somewhat separate. So this kind of middle row is Spencer County, Indiana. Maybe this other William is a father who passed away between 1830 and 1840. I'm not sure. Okay, so what's next? We want to figure out what happened in those 10 years or get some more information about what's going on in Spencer County and learn more about these 3, William, Jonathan, and Eli. I'd like to look at the catalog. I'll go to Subway Map, Spencer County, open up the Family Search catalog. And here in Spencer County, could we find a tax or property record for that family showing those 3 men being taxed? We could look in probate records if we think there's that one William passed away. So let's see how that looks. I'll set up for this project. Let me just make a new kind of a break in the tasks and then re-queue or kind of give a fresh look to some of these records that we've maybe looked at before. Okay, complete record books, early will book. So we were looking in the period of 1830 to 1840. That would be sort of the wrong range. Probate records, 33 to 1821. That could be good. These last 3 links look pretty good. So let's look at these ones. Hopefully it won't take us too long to browse through some of these. What else would we want to look at? Marriage records, 1818. Okay, that's cool. Let's put that on the list. Maybe one of these 3 men gets married in the right time frame for us. I'm paying attention to this author where it says Spencer County versus another third party. Anything else? Let's see. Histories. I think I might stop there. I mean, that's plenty probably for today. Okay, so what do we want to start with? Let's think that I'll open up a few of these and just see if any of them have an internal index that would make it easier to browse. Some of these are not available for me from home. I would have to go to the library. I'll just say I need to be at the Family History Center for this one. And let's see how these other ones look. Maybe a few of them are going to be like that. Okay, so even with as many of these records as are locked and need to be viewed from a Family History Center, there are a few that I can browse. And so I'll check them. Let's just see. Yeah, that would be the one. I can search in there. Okay, so 34 results. There's America Jane's marriage record itself. So we already knew that. Who are the Williams? Let's look at this. William, and William. The image doesn't line up with the link here on the index, but what do we know here? So this says A William Overlin married a Rebecca Barley, 1836. Next one, William Overlin, 1830, getting married. Rebecca Barclay. Looks like the marriage records aren't showing the parents' names, so maybe this isn't immediate help to us. These marriage records are not our best option at the moment. Now this was on the searchable one. We went here. So for now, I'll close those and I'll mark this marriage records done for the purposes of looking at the parents here, not helping now. So there's, maybe the best records, the wills, the deeds, probate are not available to me from home. Let me see if I have any other options here to make use of this research time. What does that mean if she was in Grayson County, Kentucky? I was assuming, we were kind of looking at the date range of her marriage closer to 1840, 43, but maybe I need to be looking for Overlins in Kentucky and see. I'll go back in my history to that search we did for Overlin in the 1840 census, and let's just look for all Overlins and we'll walk it back. So we'll go 1840 to 1830, and we did that one. Let's go back to 1820 now. How are we looking in Indiana? Let's go back to our canvas. Okay, let's take a screenshot of these ones too. What about 1810? Nothing there. Could be the Indiana. That part of Indiana wasn't happening yet. Okay, what about a search for Kentucky? And let me go back to the 40. Then we'll drop in Kentucky. Okay, who looks like an Overlin here? Let's see. William at the top. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of that one. That's interesting. Got a lot of Williams here to worry about, but let's pull him over to a new row down at the bottom for Kentucky, and we'll put him in the 1830 column. And then let's go back in Kentucky to 1820. Overly. And what about 1810? Okay, not seeing any Overlins at all. 1800. Okay, what does that mean? I mean, how do I even know that she was born in Grayson County? That's maybe something that I want to re-examine. Why do we think she was born in Grayson? Birth sources say none of these ones that provide the birthplace as a field show a city. They show Kentucky or Indiana. Okay, here's one comment on a memory that says America Jane was born in Grayson, Carter County, Kentucky. And I don't remember Carter County being one of the counties that came up for our Overlins in Kentucky. But that would say that it's not Grayson County, but Carter County. Okay, now I'm going to look at the sources and just see if there's anything else that says where she was born. I mean, actually, maybe I should check that church record that was my original for the parents. Birth puts her in Kentucky. The 1850 census puts her as born in Kentucky, okay. 1860 census says birthplace Indiana. And really, I probably need to be writing this down at this point just to not duplicate this work later. 1870 census says born in Indiana. So yeah, I didn't find good evidence that she was born in Grayson County or City, Kentucky. I've seen records showing states where she was born, but not Grayson. So I'm not sure where that comes from. I previously didn't look at her siblings because I don't think I've found good records connecting her to siblings. So I'm not trusting in the siblings to trace back their lines and see where they were born too. It seems like I really just need to get to the Family History Center and continue my research there and see what else is on these records. It does seem promising that maybe there's a probate, a will, or a deed for these various Overlins living and owning land in these counties. We said that she was born after the formation of Spencer County, where she was married. And so we wouldn't expect to find her in a birth record there, but I suppose we could find a marriage record of a sibling or her parents in Warwick County if they happened to be there before. I'll go back to my list. She was born 1824. She's the last of the siblings, the oldest sibling being born in 1816. So maybe there's a chance that a marriage record a few years before that for her parents would show up. Let me start with those marriage records here. Indiana marriages 1811 to 2007 are available online. Okay, who do we have here for William Overlin? Not loving those options here on the search. Let's see, 1813. I don't know if this is going to be the same, a subset of the previous search or not. And what about this? Okay, and here's my second link. I'm going to mark this done. Second link says sort of similar. Let's see. Marriage records 1813, 1962. Maybe this is just a subset of the larger Indiana marriages record collection that I already searched. That's not feeling too helpful either. All right, one last thing. I haven't looked at Ancestry's catalog to see if there's anything I'm missing, some collection that they have that Family Search doesn't have. So let's go to search and catalog, and we'll drill down to Indiana. So we want to go to Spencer County. Nothing there for Spencer. What about Warwick? Warwick County has 3. 4 histories of Warwick County. Yeah, I do want to look at that. Let me open it in a new tab. Okay, let's just search in Indiana for marriage records. Indiana, U.S. marriages. Okay, nothing there. U.S. marriage index. Select marriages index. Striking out on the marriage records. And last of all, the book, They Came to Warwick County. William Overlin. A little bit out of context for me here. Okay, so where else would I go? Is there a chance I've missed something really great from Indiana itself? Maybe I need to go to Indiana State Archives and see what they have. I'm not familiar. Digital index sounds really good. Category, marriage, military, courts, land office. How about that land office? Okay, what do we have here? 2 Johns, 2 Jonathans. This could be good. So we have some land records here of a purchase as early as 1818 in Spencer County by William Overlin. What else do we have here? So yeah, it looks like that 1818 one is really good, or is really early. Let me take screenshots of these. So 1818 Spencer County we have, and then 1837 we have a William Jr. there, which could be not necessarily a son, but it could be. And it's just another William who's younger than the other William in town. These are all Spencer County, aren't they? Wow. Let's get that last one. Okay, and then on my canvas. Okay, maybe I'll leave it there for today. I really need to get to the Family History Center to look at those records that are locked for me from home and see what's there. I think I've got to find some more detail in between the censuses about the relationships, the ages, that sort of thing. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And let me know if you have any comments, and talk to you soon.